Well, hello again. This is Bob and Dan. It's the Bob and Dan show here. Doing this a couple times a week. We're having a lot of fun, so we're just going to keep doing it until we're not having fun anymore, which will be a long time from now because this is a lot of fun. So we're going to talk a little geocaching again and get a little bit more in depth with that. But excited to have Dan back on. How are you doing today, buddy?
Doing great, Bob. How are you doing
Good.
yourself?
I'm good. The weather is getting better. Looks like consistently in the 60s pretty soon. That's really nice. Get outside. Oh,
Yeah, after that,
I don't know.
that first episode that we recorded, and then it started snowing and it was
Yeah,
ice cold every day since.
yeah.
So, yeah, good to post a few sunny 60 degrees some days, like 50 some today. Yeah, that's fine. It's a little
Yeah.
windy, but that's fine. It's
You
spring.
know, I don't know about your house, but our house with all these people in it all the time now, it's starting to just close in and it's starting to smell. Like there's an odor with. I have three teenagers, and there is a definite odor, and it's gonna be nice to just get that crosswind in here, blow all of that stuff out of here, and I'm looking forward to that on a consistent
Oh yeah, this
basis.
is the day to get that wind ripping through the
You
house, man.
bet.
Down here, it's really windy.
Is it? I haven't been
Yeah.
outside. I literally just got out of the shower 20 minutes ago. It's now 4:47. So, there's pros and cons to quarantining. So,
Yeah, it's a
uh,
big day to take that first shower at 4:30 in the
you
afternoon.
bet. Yeah, we're on it. Hey, I have a question for you. On our last episode, I think it was our last episode. I had shared it to my personal page. So if you're just looking on one of the We Are pages, you didn't see this, but on my personal page, it was like a mini class of '95 reunion, and we had a lot of fun. But one of the questions on there was from our classmate Kristen S. Was C. I didn't get her permission to say her full name, but I'm sure she'll have a comment. But she wants to know, how is it that you still look like you're 20 years old? Now, I am quite offended by that because look, but I guess if I shaved once in a while, that might help. But what's your secret, young one?
Well, I don't think I've gotten a haircut since I've been 20 years old, or at least it feels like that during this quarantine, which is kind of why I'm wearing this hat right now. I mean, I've got almost enough hair to like tie up a bit of a man bun here. And if you knew me during high school or college, I kept my hair pretty short. So this
Yes.
whole like man bun thing is a totally new experience here. So yeah, so yeah, that's my deaf politician way of deflecting that question.
You're just a good-looking guy, and just own it, Dan. All right, so that was my trick question for you, but this is going really well. I think people are liking the talk, the subject. They like looking at you apparently. So we're gonna keep going. So yeah, let's just get into it. What do you want to talk about today?
Well, I'd like to see that you got your Brickfield shirt on today after
Oh, that's right.
Nikki
Here,
kind of called you out for wearing
yeah,
that this basic red and black flannel last week when I was rocking the
right,
Brickfield. So I see you
right.
stepped it up to the Brickfield hoodie here. So of course, if
Yes,
I lean my
yes.
camera down a bit here, I got to represent for the
Oh my
Iowans out
gosh.
there. So make your wife happy, make Nikki happy, and
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
So
good. Good idea.
mhm.
Make those Iowans happy. Uh,
Exactly. Yeah, you always want to keep the Iowans happy.
That makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. All right. So now that we've got the Iowa contingent out of the way, let's talk to our to the rest of the people. Geocaching. We've covered kind of the basics, how to get up and running. We've had several people message us, send in some pictures, and lots of people seem to be getting on board with this. So that's awesome. Last week or the last episode, we went more in depth on the app and a couple of other things. What should we talk about today?
Yeah, I guess I was thinking about what do you do when you find
Yeah.
something, and how do you post your logs out onto the geocaching site? How do you start to speak the language a little bit, use some of those acronyms that you may see in some logs, and how do you drop a few of the acronyms on your own logs
Yeah.
and use them properly? And we can get into talking about the different types of logs you do, how you can keep an eye on a geocache that may have stumped you in the past, but you want to get out there and see if you
Ooh.
can avenge a DNF on it. Yeah, we can
Yeah.
go into that today.
Let's do that. And one thing that I want to promote before we do this, and talk about it a couple of times, but we came up with this great, call it the geocaching cheat sheet. If I was put together, I would have had a slide of this, but it's two-sided, and it's got on one section it's what to bring. It's a nice little checklist, things that you absolutely have to have, nice to have, and optional. Then a glossary. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Kind of 2/3 of the sheet there. Turn it around. There's a couple other fun stuff, including how to become a friend of the ageless one, Dan Heinrichs, and the scruffy Bob Rombach on geocaching.com. And some other goodies on there as well. The only way to get that is we'll put a link in the description. Follow that link, and we'll email it right to you. That's our fun little giveaway. So let's talk about some of those acronyms. Why don't we hit maybe the top 3 or 4 that people come across most often?
Sure. Probably the number one acronym that I see on the logs is the shorthand for thanks for the cache. So giving the cache placer a little bit of a head nod to thanks for putting this out there. So you'll see TFTC, thanks for the cache on a lot of logs. I've seen some of the more trendy people put in like TFT and then a $sign to represent cache that way. So okay, that's a neat way of doing it. It's a TFT or $sign. I'm not that cool. I use the straight letters. So that's generally the one I'll see.
You're cool enough to go. I've seen T4TC. Have you seen that?
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's just a Scotty thing now that you're a swampy or a mud duck or whatever you want to be referred to. I'm going to leave now. Go ahead. Take it away.
Yeah. Oh, man, after throwing that zing out at me. So, yeah, another one you'll see out there, like the SL for the signed log. And one that you don't actually see in the logs, but you've heard us talk about is DNF for did not find. I mean, you may see that in the log itself, but it's a different type of log entry that you can put in if you didn't find what you're looking for. Some of the others, left nothing, LN. Oh, CITO. That's what we'll talk about today. Since
let's talk about that one.
It's kind of relevant coming up here. So CITO for cache in, trash out. So something that the geocaching community has done throughout the years is bring along a extra plastic bag with, and you see some trash on the way, and if you got like one of those little grippers that you can go out and grab bottles with, and it may not be the best time to go rooting around the woods just grabbing old pop cans and picking them up. But yeah, if you got the proper protections on to pick up all of that trash out there and kind of clean up the area around the cache location. I've seen there are some different event type caches out there, and with Earth Day coming up on Wednesday this week, the 22nd of April, it's a common time where you'll see some events out there that you can go meet up some other geocachers. And it's a certain type of event where you can actually log a quote unquote find by going to this event and helping to clean up a park, for example. So I know there's a few that I've seen pop on my close to home map here, and part of me thought, it's like, man, that'd be kind of a sweet 2000th quote unquote cache to go get to go do some of that cache in, trash out. And with the fact that right now it's distance learning with the kids, and this could be a really good field trip opportunity to say, hey, let's go on an Earth Day, pick up a few pieces of trash, help clean up this park, and meet some other folks doing it, of course, in the socially distant manner.
Exactly. And that's crazy. But that's a great idea. It's a great way to get out and cache, pick up some trash, and celebrate Earth Day. That's a really good idea. I just did a quick search around Grantsburg, and I'm not sure if I'm doing it right, but I didn't see anything within whatever parameter they set up.
Okay.
Maybe you could walk me through. Do you know how to find it better or easier?
Yeah, you may just have to zoom your app out. If you go down toward the Minneapolis area, I mean, on my map, I only saw one of that particular type, and it's got a unique icon. It's kind of looks like a yin yang almost, with blue on one half and green on the other. So you've got the geocaching symbol on one side, and then the 3-arrow recycle symbol on the other side of it. So on your filter, if you click on the filters tab up toward the top of that page, and that may get to cache type. So maybe
event. I'm guessing I could have unselected all somehow. Okay, here we go. Event. Eden Prairie Parks Cleanup Day. So here we go. There's 4 of them here in the cities. Closest one to our target, 16th Annual Earth Day. Let's take a look at that one. Am I doing right? Okay, perfect. All right, so King Boreas. That's a pretty big name in geocaching. Anyway, so he's putting this on. I'm not going to read all of that, but there you go. A little bit about Earth Day. He says trash bags and gloves will be provided by Columbia Heights Park, 16th Annual Earth Day CITO. What's that mean again, Dan?
The cash in, trash out.
April 22nd. It's a Wednesday. Help fellow cachers clean up this city park. Obviously, practicing social distancing will be a important thing. So great. There's one. If people are looking for like you said, a field trip, that's a great idea.
Yeah, one other thing to note on this page, if you scroll up just a little bit, you'll see that there's that inventory down there of different trackables that are apparently must be owned by King Boreas, and he's gonna bring them to the event. So I haven't gone to very many events in my geocaching career. I think I've maybe gone to one. So some people will bring some of the travel bugs that they've encountered in their geocaching adventures and kind of show them off, or maybe do a trade with some other people. And these travel bugs, sometimes they have a mission tied to them to say like the one you had last time, like the police wants to catch the robber. I think that was the one that you had mentioned before. So if someone knows who this robber one is, maybe they'll trade it to a fellow cacher who's going that direction. But yeah, you see that there's a couple of those that'll be at this event, and you can sign up and say that, yeah, I'm planning on being there. So you give the event organizer an idea of how many people he can expect there. Again, with this being in a city park doing some trash cleanup, maybe they'll tell them I need to bring 2 dozen plastic bags instead of 1 dozen, or whatever kind of supplies they'll need for that. So yeah, that's the kind of event that you may see on the 22nd this week with Earth Day.
Cool. Very cool. All right, good. Well, that's about, I mean, those are kind of the big ones as far as acronyms go. You'll see it all over the place. But if you want a list of all of them, remember you can get this cheat sheet. Just follow the link in the description. Another big thing happened this week. A big thing happened this past week, and we'll talk about the leaderboard in a little bit. But we got to shout out somebody pretty special. Got a big find, momentous find this week. Your mom and dad.
Yeah, they were getting after it on the Gandy Dancer on Friday. And Bob, I think you can take some credit for being their inspiration for getting out there. So they had watched the show on Thursday night, and my mom was just jacked up after watching that. And, I mean, she watched it at 10:30 at night, and she had said, okay, we're going to get out there and get after it on Friday. It's like, okay, that's pretty cool. And she mentioned how she knows Ben Sumi. So she had heard about his big 35 fine day the other day, and she's like, okay, we got to get 35. Wow, that is definitely getting after it. So they had sent me a picture early in their caching day about, hey, we just made fine number 1100. So, okay, fine number 1100. At the end of the day, I went and just looked at their caching page to see, I wonder how they've done. And no, he's got 1,131 fines. How many did they get? Just going through everything. I think it was a 39 cache day. Like that's a monumental day. So yeah, hats off, mom and dad. Well done.
Yeah, way to go. And I'm so glad I could be could inspire you. It brings us back to the old days of competition. So that's awesome. Well, so congratulations.
Maybe the apple not falling far from the tree example here.
Exactly. So if you guys want to participate in these competitions, let's do the leaderboard right now. You have to be our friend, and then we will be able to compete with one another. Let me throw this up on the screen. This is the leaderboard. This is brand new. It must end on Sundays, which would make sense. So we've got 6 days. So basically this whole week. You'll want to become my friend for sure, so you get on this here leaderboard. We're all tied at 0. I didn't go find any. You didn't go find any. But here we go. Let's look at the previous week and see how bad your parents decimated everybody. So I'll slowly reel. I had 122 points. That's respectable.
So how many caches did you find last week to get to the 122 points?
That's a good question. Probably about 15-ish.
Okay.
So we can dig deeper in that. But here we go. So starting from the bottom, this is my parents. They're going to start this week. There's Ben.
Nice.
He got a 35-pointer Bass Pro. I think that's my cousin Keith. This is you, getting into triple digits, very respectable. Mine with a 5 cache surge yesterday was able to pull into 3rd place. Nedlow, he's just, if you're keeping pace with him, you're doing something well. But 858 points for Big Slicer. And here's how you can find out what the scoring is. There's just an about scoring thing. Found it, you get 5. A 10 plus favorited, you get 10, and then a difficulty in terrain like amplifier. And you could get 5 points for attending an event if you wanted. So I had 122. There's my list. So what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 5 yesterday. So I guess I got 10. How many did you get?
Okay.
How many did you do for 100?
But it's 7 last week.
Yeah, so 7 gets into triple digits, easy peasy. Big Slicer takes up, look at how many he did, or they did.
There's a lot of scrolling that you got to do just to get down to that once you expand their profile. But yeah, you throw in a 39 cache day, and
yep,
I know
17th.
the way they generate their weekly stats, and this is far and away their biggest week as far as number of finds goes. And then, yeah, just for kicks to go out again yesterday on Sunday and just, I don't know how many they got yesterday, if it was another double-digit day just to run up the score a bit more.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Looks like about 15 yesterday. Just a whole hummer day for them. 15 would have been in for, well, anyway, we don't need to look too deep. There's Nedlow. That looks sane compared to your parents. But that's a nice week for him too. Look at all those on the 16th and 17th for most of them. Anyway, so that's fun. So you guys, you need to come and join us. This is a lot of fun doing these competitions. There's Keith, so it looks like their family went out and did 6. Ben logged 3. Fun. So make sure you're friending us on that so we can all have fun together. So all right. Whale. What else you got, Dan? Anything to talk about this time?
Yeah. Oh, we talked about the finds, and then what do you do? So you find 7 or 10 or 600 geocaches in a week, and how do you go tell everyone about it? And that's where the writing of the log entry comes in. So I know a lot of times when they say for writing the log, you kind of tell the story of what was it like when you went to go find the cache, what kind of condition is the cache in. And we've touched on this a couple of times earlier, how I've taken it a different way, just kind of using the cache as a time capsule, or I would normally give some kind of a sports score from the current day. And with the sports world stopped right now, I've kind of done flashbacks just like the major networks are doing. Instead of showing live events, they're showing the 91 World Series Game 7 again, which is very popular around here.
Watch that today.
And nice. So yeah, this is, and then you've got it right here, the cache find number 1991 for me, and I did throw it back to the 91 series, and and I'm not going to get into too big a detail. That's a lot to write when it comes to like if you found 50 in a day to start doing all these updates. And you see Sammy Girl above me, and that's a perfectly fine log right there. Just say paper's wet, but it's a quick find. So that tells the cache owner everything they need to know about the current state of their geocache. And I know this one, it was actually it was either a 3 difficulty and a 4 terrain, or vice versa. But this one ended up being a good one. Yeah, it was a lot closer to probably about a 2-2 instead of a 3-4, because this geocache had been hidden up in a tree. Well, the branch that the cache was on had broken. So the cache was hanging about 4 feet off the ground instead of you needing to go climb up in the tree to go get it. So it's like, oh, this was one that was actually pretty quick to find. When I went after
Nice.
this one, thinking, oh, this is a 3 and a 4, I'm going to be in for a mission trying to go get this. And nope, this was pretty much a walk right up to it and open it up and sign the log. So got a few easy leaderboard points for finding this one.
Yeah, that's good. And I thought what you wrote was great. And I see, when you see logs that are kind of this length, a lot of times it's a cut and paste job where they'll write the same thing,
Yep.
and then maybe the last line will be something new. But this is pretty cool. You do a new one for each one. This one, hashtag 1991 in sports, a throwback update to the 1991 World Series, a series many call one of the best ever. After a dramatic extra inning home run to send the series to a seventh game, the Minnesota Twins defeated the Atlanta Braves 1-0 to win their second World Series in 5 years. The Twins haven't been back to the World Series since that 91 victory. The Braves have made the playoffs the next 14 straight seasons, nabbed 4 NL pennants, and won the series in 1995. Good start to a quick little Geo run today. None of the anticipated acrobatics were necessary today. TFTC, which we all know means thanks for the cash. Dan, that's pretty awesome that you do that. That's a fun thing, and people have to be looking forward to that, especially the people who hide the caches, because that's kind of their reward, like you said a couple times. Like, sign the log it on the computer or on your app, and that just lets them know that you appreciate what they've done. So kudos to you. That's a fun one. So
yeah, it's something fun to do. I mean, you find a few caches and like, okay, yeah, let's treat it like a bit of a time capsule. So if someone is a hider and happens to be a sports fan, they might get a bit of a kick out of seeing some of this.
Yeah, I remember seeing it for the first time I didn't realize you had changed your name, and I saw it. There's one just by the Grantsburg like city limits sign, and I saw
Oh, sure, yep.
Sports Geo or Geo Sports, and it was just really cool. I like reading it, like, holy cow, this is a This Week in Baseball, or this yeah, like you said, it's just a time capsule. Really fun. So you don't have to get as insanely into it like that, but yeah, like you said, just the simple, the log is wet or whatever, or just yeah.
Let's look at the bottom one on the page here for wishing for snow here. He brought a tot along. So that TOTT, that's another acronym, and that stands for Tool of the Trade.
Yes, tell me about that. I'm kind of confused about that too.
Yeah, so and they say different tool of the trade along. So I guess the main tool of the trade that I would have would be that tweezers that's in my swag bag. So just to be able to fish out a tightly packed in log. But I don't know what this guy thought. It was like, oh, this is going to be up in a tree. Do I have to bring a ladder with? Do I have to bring some other kind of clamps to help get up a tree, or bring a long pole so I can fish something out of something that's 15 feet high? And so, yeah, sometimes you'll see some of these really difficult geocaches that do have that 4 or 5 terrain rating where they are 20 feet up a tree. And it's like, okay, I've got to use this branch that fell on the ground next to it to reach it straight up in the air and knock this geocache off, which is step 1. And then step 2, which is the harder step, is to put it back.
Right.
So
I remember one of my Go ahead.
I was going to say some of these ones that you'll see is like, yeah, how do you get them down? But then you think about, how do I even get it back? And like, you knock it down, and now it's like, oh, great. So now somehow I got to get this back up in this tree.
Right. One of the most memorable finds I had was the first one we found when we moved to Illinois. It was at an abandoned gas station, and the coordinates were right on, but it put us right underneath the awning, the cover. The gas tanks are gone, but where they would be, it was underneath there. And we're looking all around, and then all of a sudden, I just think to look up, and there it is. I don't know, 20 feet, 15 feet. I don't know how tall those things are. It's stuck to the metal ceiling, outside ceiling. So now we're like looking around. How are we going to get this down? I think we've ended up finding some kind of long branch and just kind of knocking it off the thing, and it falls down. We catch it, sign the log, and they're like, crap, how are we going to put it back
Yep.
up there? So
Exactly.
it was magnetic. So I just kind of kept tossing it until it stuck, and away we went. So those are fun. You got to get creative sometimes.
Oh yeah, that's a
So
great cache to be able to go and find
yeah,
something like that, especially an abandoned old gas station. Like when's
yes,
anyone ever going to stop there except for
right.
being a geocacher?
Exactly. Yes, that's exactly right. So
So what
we
kind of stuff do you do when you write your logs, Bob? What kind of stuff do you put down?
well, let's take a look at. We had a really fun one recently over the weekend, and I'm going to show a video of it here. Here, I'll get me in the screen, but I'm going to take a look at. Let's see, where is it? Well, so here, found 4-H forest. This was a fun little one, easy, kind of an easy one. 4-H. So I thought, okay, 4-H's. So what could I put? So I just wrote happily hunting hides here.
Nice, that's
That's
clever.
about that's the limit of my cleverosity. But
That's really
one
good.
of the, thanks. So that was a fun one. You wouldn't believe how long it took me to think of 4-H's that would relate to this. Let's see. So the other day, Jewel of the Gandy Dancer. This was a really fun one. I dropped a travel bug into this one, but this
Okay.
is a bridge between Wisconsin and Minnesota on the Gandy Dancer Trail, and it's called a multi-cache. Have we talked about multi-caches at all?
I don't think so. Why don't you tell us about them?
Okay, so this is the symbol. It's orange, and you can see kind of two caches instead of the regular one. And then the green, it's green, and these are orange. There's not too many of them around here, but basically, the coordinates bring you to the first cache, and then from that spot, you're either going to get clues to the next one or coordinates. This one was, you find the cache, you open it up, and then all that's in it is the coordinates to the actual cache with all the trinkets and stuff. Funny enough, we weren't able to find the first leg of this cache. I think it's missing. So when I didn't write that on the description here, I did message the cache owner to let him know,
Okay.
though. Actually, no, I did write it in here. So here's what I wrote on this one. One of our best finds yet. Dropped in a travel bug too. Had to use our caching sense as the first part of this multi was missing, and at least we couldn't find it. Had so much fun exploring. The kids loved the challenge of getting to the top of one of the bridge footers, and I put a picture of that in here. That was unrelated to the finds. Loved discovering the bridge. Threw a bunch of rocks from it. Just seemed like the natural thing to do. And thanks so much for this memorable trip. So my kids made it up this
Nice.
foundation. It's probably 11 feet off the ground. So they did
Cool. And you said
American Ninja
that's right
Warrior.
between that's right between Wisconsin and Minnesota.
Yeah. So here's the map. I can zoom out. Or we can go to here, do a larger map. So you can take a look here. The first part of it is on the Minnesota side, and you cross the bridge again on the Wisconsin side. So you can knock out two. Well, actually, no, I don't think you could knock out two states, because that's kind of one of the challenges too. How many states can you find a cache in? But I think you only register one.
So I wonder where that one would get counted. Is that a Minnesota cache or is that a Wisconsin cache?
That is a good question. I don't know. But what I do know is Muskie Hunters he does a lot of stuff up here. He's got 13 favorite points, so you get a little bit extra, and you're in the leaderboard for those kinds of things too. So that's a really popular one. We actually ended up coming back across the bridge and finding the cache in this general area down here. So that's the only hint I'll give you. You guys should go check it out. It's a lot of fun. I'll show you a little video as we wrap this thing up. I'm not going to show you where we found anything or anything, but just of our family on the bridge. It's really cool. I had no idea this trestle bridge was even close. I didn't know there was a bridge for the Gandy Dancer, to be honest with you.
Nice.
So that's the thing about this. You get to go out and discover new places that you've never been. One of the first times I ever went to the old paint mine, and the whole family went out there and just were like, this is awesome. The old paint mine is a place in Grantsburg that, there's not a lot of pub about it, but it's a really cool, like, where they used to mine paint. And there's kind of the ruined stuff still somewhat intact where you can kind of see it. There's still, you can still see the kind of blue dye that they were harvesting from the, so it's really cool. Like, I don't know that many people would see it outside of geocaching. So
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go.
Nice. Yeah, that'd be a fun one to find, especially to have the geo sense to be able to pick up a multi-cache without even figuring out where the first stage is. I have an idea where the second stage is going to be, and I'm going to look over there, and you got it. Right. So yeah, well done.
We got it. And thank you. And my son actually found it. And the reason we were able to even have any idea is okay, so we can't find the first part of this. Let's go to the logs and see what people have written. Now, nobody said it's here and in this certain area or place. Nobody said that, but you could read like the second one. We had to, it made it a terrain 2 to a terrain 4 because we had to go through a bunch of mud. So like, oh, okay, well, it's not on the path probably. Mm-hmm. So we're going to look in the woods and then, you know, just kind of piece stuff together like that. And we were able to find it. So it was fun, just a lot of fun. And even if we hadn't found it, it was still like, this is awesome, because we didn't find the first one, but after we didn't find it, we went down to the river and then we're able to jump up on the thing. So yeah, it's just, it is what you make of it, just like anything in life. So,
yep.
So yeah, cool. That was a really fun one. So yeah, I don't know what else is there to talk about.
Oh, well, I think the weather's supposed to be pretty good this week. So
there we go. Let's get out there.
Yeah, may have to
so let's
get out there and rack a few up.
Let's get some. Let's see how many people we can get up over 100 points in the leaderboard. Remember, you gotta follow us or friend us on geocaching.com, and let's see. Because what did we say about seven or 8 would definitely get you in triple digits.
Yep, seven got me in the triple digits exactly, and that was with that kind of the lucky 24.1 with that 3 or 4 terrain difficulty. So if you get 8, you're almost certain to get there. 9 will definitely get you there, and so on.
Very good. Well, I think that's going to basically wrap it up. Oh my gosh, we've gone very long today. So up over half an hour. So why don't we call her quits? And I'll show this video at the very end, but any parting thoughts before we go?
No, not really. And just, again, take advantage of the nice weather that we're about to have. And yeah, there's lots of great places to go. And yeah, go check out that Jewel of the Gandy Dancer if you're up around the Danbury area. I know next time I get up that way, that's certainly one I want to go pick up. I haven't been on that bridge before, so I'd certainly like to see it.
Fantastic. All right. Well, that's Dan. I am Bob. We're going to leave you with this video, and make sure you get online, share those pictures with us, and we'll pop them up in the next episode. But here's a video of our little family and on this trestle bridge. Have a great day, everybody. The fun of geocaching. You gonna throw a rock?
I actually just threw my last rock. I'm sorry. I'll throw one on the way back.
Okay.
Don't drop your phone, Dad.
Okay. Heading towards Minnesota.
We were just over there.
There's Wisconsin.
Dad.
Isn't this awesome? I'm coming. Well, the sound is off of my video, I think. Yeah, whatever. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Dan's going to compile a few more beauty tips for next time, and I am not going to shave, and we'll see you next time on the Bob and Dan Show. Have a great day.
Well, maybe we'll send you a razor, Bob.
All right, thanks.